What does it take to surprise Audrey? Coming up. All right, so we love doing these wine videos, and I know that you and I can talk wine for hours, right? We can just talk wine. We could argue wine for hours. We can disagree for hours on wine.
Or I can talk and he can say, "Please, enough already."
Right, exactly.
That's how it
but it's sometimes, even though we love it, it's difficult to come up with topics every week for a video series.
Sometimes we struggle with that
Because not everybody likes to just listen to us banter on about
we
wine.
Struggle to agree on what we're going to talk about.
That's true too. That is true too. That's his and hers there.
It's his and hers wine.
For a reason.
Yes.
But this week we kind of lucked into something because you got surprised.
Yes. I love to discover new things, and so in the course of I listen to different podcasts and I read and research and everything, and so I had heard about this particular grape, but when I went into a local wine store, I was looking for a nice bottle to celebrate myself, and they pulled out a wine in Italian with this grape. Now,
Italian, we're very familiar with Italian wines, and a lot of our audiences too, and we're familiar. The most familiar one is, of course, Chianti. Everybody knows Chianti.
We're semi-familiar. Italy has so many different ones, and it can be kind of confusing and complex. So I consider it something that I need to study more of. There's just so much to learn there.
There is, and it's easy to sort of fall back on the defaults like Chianti, Nebbiolo, Barolo.
Right. So let me tell you a little bit about because he didn't hear everything. I haven't told him everything. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So
I'm surprised too.
You're going to be surprised too.
Go ahead.
On live. Okay. So this grape, he'll put up the name in there because it's pronounced differently. It looks like it's Aglianico, but it's actually pronounced differently. And I heard them do it and I had to have it phonetically there. Aglianico is how it is pronounced. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm visualizing the pronunciation that I researched to discover. But this grape is actually in southern Italy. So whereas the Piedmont, I tend to gravitate towards those.
Sure,
that's
the
Nebbiolo.
And Nebbiolos.
Nebbiolo is up there. The Barolo, these big power wines. But this is actually southern Italy. And part of the interesting thing is nobody knows the exact heritage of this, exactly where it came from. It is very old grape.
I can just imagine asking too, where does this grape come? It's Italian. What do you want? It's Italian. Why are you asking me questions?
Okay, that works. So it is from primarily, not Sicily, the Basilica. Basilica and Campania. Those are the main ones. So this is Aglianico. The one that I got is actually from the Amalfi Coast area.
Ooh, I love the Amalfi Coast.
I know. Some people have been there.
Yes, it's gorgeous. You should
go
sometime.
To hear how beautiful it is, and I haven't been.
You should go sometime.
I know, right. You should take me. Anyway, so this one, they're comparing it to, even though it's this older grape, they're comparing it to like a Petite Syrah, that it's very thick-skinned and tight in there and very, very dark color. But it is known for its impressive aging ability. It's very, very tannic, yet very acidic.
Well, that comes from those thick-skinned grapes,
I was
right?
listening to it. The acidity of it is unusual to have that combination in there. So I was fascinated listening, had to hear all about it.
And a lot of the warmer region wines tend to be fruitier and higher sugar because that heat from the sun really causes those grapes to ripen.
And this is a warm area, a dry area. They were talking about other drier areas that might be trying this type of grape. Mm-hmm. But also in the volcanic areas down there, it's picking up some different flavors. Sometimes it'll come across with some ashy kind of notes or smokiness to it.
That's that terroir that we disagree about.
Yes,
I'll just point that out.
Climate and soil and all those things combined, yes. I know, you have to have something to put in there. Anyway, we haven't tasted it yet. The tasting notes about the grape itself were a lot of different things. You had a lot of different dark fruits in there. There was some bramble kind of possibilities, mushroom possibilities, just lots of different earthiness that could be in there. And the smokiness is also something that's referenced. Where we are in Amalfi, this one is mixed with another grape, Piedirosso. And it's 50-50, Piedirosso and the Aglianico. The ones that are more in Campania and what did I say? I keep forgetting the word.
Started with a V.
Basilica.
Basilica.
That one. Those are might be a little bit more Aglianico, but they also will blend it with those big powerhouse grapes. They have a very famous wine down there, Terrassi, and that has the Aglianico with the Barolo and the Nebbiolo. Okay, I can't imagine that one. So anyway, the one that we have here.
That's a big punch in your face.
Oh, right. So this one, I'll put it up there so everybody can see it, and we can talk about it later. Some of the labels can be very confusing in Italy because they change it up all the time. Sometimes it will have the name of the producer on there. Sometimes it will have the area. Sometimes the actual grape, and you just have to look at it a little bit. So this one, it is from the Amalfi, so it'll say that. The producer is down here at the bottom, I believe. Marissa Diacoma. Colomo, thank you. I know he's better at his pronunciation than I am. But this is Fuare.
You got me.
Sounds good to
Fuare.
me. We'll put it in there. We'll put it in there for you. Anyway,
I'm just going to call it Ferrari because I love Ferrari.
Very okay, Ferrari. That's in the area. So this is the area that's being referenced. And I found it interesting too. They said for Italian, it is the village that doesn't exist. So they said it's actually very hard to view for travelers coming in. It's really on those cliff areas, right into the cliff areas. So it's really cool.
If you've been there, it's spectacular because they have these villages just from Amalfi and
sometime I will make it over there.
Just right into the cliff.
If anybody wants to go to Italy with me, I'm down for that.
Yeah, you really are. It's spectacular.
It's spectacular.
I highly recommend.
Great. So I wanted to taste this. We haven't tasted it yet.
This is my first time even seeing the bottle, so I'm excited. I'm a little bit
nervous about it, and we haven't let it decant for a long time. The other thing that was exciting to me is this is a 2013.
Ooh, so it has a little bit of age on it.
So this should be actually very smooth. The fact that it is 50-50 with the Piedirosso should make it smoother. If it was mixed again with the Nebbiolo and those Barolos, it's going to be even more tannic. But again, did you get some good smell in there?
I did. So we'll start with our tasting. So the color is dark. It's nearly black. I mean, it's in this light it looks darker than probably it is, but it doesn't get much lighter than that in bright light. It's almost black,
which is exactly how it was described. Very, very dark color, almost black.
It's like
purplish. Yeah. Yes, very inky.
On the nose. So here's what
nice stuff in there.
I'm going to say a word. See if you're getting this. Truffle.
Oh, interesting.
Truffle.
Guess what? That was in there.
Yeah.
Black truffle was one of those. Like I said, there were a lot of different earthy qualities mentioned. That was one of them.
I can get a little bit of the bramble, like you said, and a little bit of the earthiness, but that truffle comes through. That is really on the nose there.
And I think I love one of these things that's complex like this. I expect it to kind of develop in its taste as it opens up, and the more I taste it, the more I'm going to get something different.
So
I'm excited. I am ready.
Here we go.
Okay.
Ooh, that's complex.
That's got stuff in there. That's good.
Really complex.
Now, the surprising part, and I was pre-warned about that because it does have some good acidity, it's lighter on the palate than you expect it to be. With this dark color.
That's true. I was expecting it to be really punch you in the face.
It's not,
you in the face.
Well, the complexity of it is there, but the weight on your tongue, that full body that you're expecting for some of the things are just weightier, and I'm not getting that. It's light.
There's some dark fruit. There's some currant and blackberry in there, but that earthiness, that sort of mossy mushroom truffle, really is present. It's really
That's fun, and I actually really like the fact that the body is what's light, the flavor is not. So do not confuse the two.
Right. No, absolutely. It's not a light flavored wine.
Not at all.
Light bodied wine, but very, very rich in flavor.
Really got a lot of different things in there. I like that. I like complexity in it.
definitely a food wine.
Yeah, well.
That is
Okay.
definitely
It will go fantastic with food, and why I laugh is because I would drink it sipping too, because I just like to have those complexities in the flavors.
no doubt. In many of the wines that we enjoy are food wines that we enjoy just sitting on the deck or having a glass of. But
this is recommended with beef things, some kind of barbecue even, but, a gamey kind of meat to it.
And I think it would complement something smoky if you had a brisket or something that was smoky or a little bit spiced. This would go fantastic.
Barbecue brisket kind of thing, that'd be excellent.
That'd be fantastic.
Excellent.
So I'm really, really impressed with this. This is, like I said, first time I've smelled it, first time I've tasted it. It's very impressive.
I do feel special because I got it with I went in to buy something special for myself. I feel like I achieved that. I'm really enjoying this.
I agree. Awesome. I agree. That's definitely going on the list of one of our favorites.
So if you planning a trip to Italy, if you have some recommendations of your favorite Italian wine or areas that you think are a must-see, I'd be happy to know about them because
we're planning a trip. We are planning to go to Italy later this year.
And if he doesn't take me, please somebody go with me.
I'll take her, I promise. But we're planning a trip, and so of course there's certain places that we need to go, we want to go, and there's some winemakers that we want to meet with and talk to. But beyond that, we are looking for something special, something interesting, something off the beaten path. We always
like
love to find that
unique
discovery.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that most mainstream American wine enthusiasts either haven't heard of or haven't tried. That's really
exactly not exactly the mass produced. We like something that's a little bit more unknown.
And that is really fantastic.
That's very good.
I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of this glass.
All right.
So we can skip the what are we drinking tonight because we're drinking
this.
This is what we're drinking. All right?
Cheers.
Cheers.